love. So we are going to focus on the heart chakra, the part of our body that is our true divine selves, the center of all love. So at the beginning, we'll begin with our typical warm-ups like we usually do, followed by postures that are considered heart openers. Heart openers are postures that we would call back bends. So this here, where we lift the chest and arch the back, that's considered a back bend, and we are opening our heart. Heart openers are excellent for bringing awareness to the heart center. And we all know that wherever our attention goes, energy flows. Okay, I'm also going to shut that door behind me because it's distracting me. The camera's usually turned a little bit more this way. All I can see is my hamper. Okay. At the end of our asana, I have a 10-minute guided meditation called the Garden of the Heart. And during that meditation, we will practice a mudra. And as we've discussed before, mudras are gestures of the hands, face, or body. Somebody new joining us? Great, who do we have? I want to just say welcome.
Phyllis.
Okay, and 2 more people or just 1?
This one.
Okay, hi Phyllis. So my name is Andrea, and we are just starting our Kripalu Yoga class with the JCC. It's a 1-hour class, and we will begin with some gentle warm-ups, and we will practice heart-opening postures, and then we will end with a Garden of the Heart meditation with the Padma Mudra. Now, if this particular mudra, where we bring our hands to heart center, and then we open up the fingers, keeping the pinkies and thumbs connected, that represents the lotus flower. If that particular mudra doesn't feel good for you, then you can just simply bring your hands to your heart center. We practice mudras to bring awareness to certain parts of the body, and by bringing awareness there, we bring energy there, which of course obviously has physical benefits as well as energetic benefits. And then lastly, I wanted to introduce a mantra. So mantras are considered sounds. It's as if you were singing, and sound vibrations have effects on the physical body and the energetic body. Now, this particular mantra is Aham Prema, AHEMPREMA. And what it means is I am divine love. I am pure love. I am whole love. So even if you don't want to say Aham Prema, you can just think it in your head, or as I say it throughout the class, you can just let the words wash over you to remind you that you are perfect and you are whole just as you are. Okay, with that being said, let's begin our physical practice. If anything that I offer doesn't feel good, don't do it. You can always just watch or do something different. We're going to begin today on our backs. And let the spine have a natural curve. The feet are about hip distance apart, which is about 2 fists. And then let the shoulders drop down away from the ears. The chin is slightly tucked down. Allow the legs to begin to pinwheel. Inhaling to one side, exhaling rather, inhaling through center, and then exhaling to the other side. Inhaling through center, exhale to the other side. Now, if there's any pain or discomfort, don't do this. You can always begin from a seated position with a very gentle pinwheel to the right and to the left, finding your pain-free range of motion, never forcing anything, never trying to get anywhere. And then draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a hug, and if it would feel good, a gentle rocking from side to side. Place one foot on the earth and extend the other leg, making some pointing and flexing movements with the foot. Then curl the toes and release. Now, if you're not lying down on the floor because getting up and down is uncomfortable, you can practice these from a seated position. You can also practice these from a chair. So this is your practice. I'm just your tour guide. Find whatever makes you feel comfortable. And then taking hold of the leg with your hand, or if it's difficult to use your hand, you can always use a strap. And again, you can do this if you're seated in a chair as well. The goal is to just extend the leg toward the head. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. Again, never forcing, keeping a slight bend of the knee to protect the hamstring muscles and the knee. And then pressing your hand into your left hip, let the right leg float out to the side, just a little bit, so that you're beginning to lengthen the hamstring muscles. If this left hip pops up, you've gone too far. If you want the leg to go further, you'll notice the sensation is now in the adductor muscles. Inhale through center, lengthen the opposite leg, and allow the leg to float to the side. Inhale through center, and then bring the right leg just above the left knee, coming into figure 4. This is the first evolution of pigeon. Now this can also be practiced if you're not on the floor from a seated position, and this can also be practiced from a chair. So same exact alignment principles. If you're seated on the floor, you can use your arms to keep you from collapsing into your spine. The foot is flexed. If you'd like more sensation, you can bend the opposite leg. Bring your awareness into the parts of your body where you feel sensation. Sending the breath there. And then last little warm up for the hips. If you'd like to take a half a happy baby, you can do so. With happy baby, we take hold of the foot with either a hand or a strap, and we draw the knee down toward the underarm. Our tailbone is connected with the earth, and our chin is facing slightly down. You can make any micro movements here that would feel good. And if that doesn't feel good, you can do something different. Maybe draw the knee into the chest. And then get as long as you can. Big stretch. And let's switch sides. So again, you can do this with the support of the earth, from a seated position, or from a chair. pointing and flexing, little circles. Curl the toes and spread the toes wide. Keeping a slight bend of the knee, take a deep inhale, and then exhale, draw the leg toward the head. If you're sitting on the floor, you can do the same thing. Bend your opposite leg. Just be careful that you're not collapsing into the lower back. And you don't even have to move the leg. You can just hold the strap or hold the leg. And if the body wants to lean forward, let the hinge come from the hip crease. And then as you're ready, allow the leg to come halfway down, pressing your right hand into your right hip to stabilize it. And then inhale through center, extend the opposite leg, keeping a slight bend of the knee. And then figure four. Left foot comes just above the right knee. You could reach through with your hands or a strap, keeping your lower back connected with the earth and a slight tuck of the chin. You can also practice this from a seated position with the foot extended. Also practice this from a chair. If you need more sensation, you can always bring the hands behind you and bend the leg. One more deep inhale, full exhale. And then if you'd like to try half a happy baby on this side, take hold of the foot with your hand or a strap, press your lower back into the earth, and draw the knee down toward the underarm. If you'd like to take a full happy baby, you can do it with both feet. If that doesn't feel good, just give the knees a hug and rock from side to side. If your hands don't reach your feet, you can always use your strap. And then slowly make your way onto your belly. If you don't want to come onto your belly for our back bends, you can do them from a seated position, either on the floor or in a chair. So you might want a little bit of padding for below. And before you come into your first back bend, reach the arms overhead and reach the legs out behind you. Get as long as you can. And then engaging the muscles of the legs so that your legs are active and pressing your pubic bone into the earth. Come up onto the forearms, stacking your shoulders over the wrists. You can make an L with your hands and then drop your shoulders down. The shoulders are going to want to come up to the ears. Drop them down and lift the chest. So this is a heart opener, Sphinx pose. So there should not be any compression in the lumbar spine. You can experiment with moving your legs farther apart. You can practice getting nice and long, wriggling from side to side before you come on up. And try not to let the belly press down into the earth. It's really a compression with the pubic triangle. So the belly is lifted, the chest is lifted. And then I'll share that mantra, Aham Prema. So as you bring your awareness to your heart center, Aham Prema, think of those words. I am pure love. I am divine love. I am perfect and whole. Aham Prema. Not only does bringing our awareness and our breath to our heart center help us connect with our energetic heart, it helps bring oxygen to that area, helping to improve circulation, helping to improve the cardiovascular system and the immune system. Okay, beautiful. Let's come on up into a neutral position, tabletop. Get some padding for down below to protect the knees. Now, if tabletop doesn't feel good, you can practice these forward folds and back bends from a seated position, either on the floor or in a chair. If you're in a chair, it's going to look like this. Round the chin. And then to do your back bend, slide the hands toward you, draw the shoulder blades away, drop the shoulders away from the ear, and you'll gently rock forward and backward. And do that from a chair. If you're in tabletop, hands are stacked over the wrists, spread your fingers wide, and then let the belly drop as you lift the gaze, lift the chest. So this is your back bend or your heart opener. Bring your awareness and your breath toward your heart. Aham Prema. Round the spine, tuck the chin. Drop the belly, lift the gaze. Bring your awareness and your breath toward your heart. And then come back into neutral. Let's begin to warm up the shoulders. Take your left arm. Actually, this computer mirrors me, so I don't have to reverse my cues. So I'm going to use my right arm. Press through. Imagine pushing energy through and lower down. You don't have to go too far. Your head doesn't have to come to the earth. Come on back to neutral and then press the left arm through. Now, if that doesn't feel good for your body, it feels really, really tight for me, you can always come into child's pose and press through and come on back. Even if your hips, your tailbone doesn't reach the earth, you can imagine energetically pressing it down. You can also place a pillow or something between the legs. So lots of options. You want to find a way to make this feel comfortable for you. So this isn't yoga boot camp. This is all about self-love and self-care. Okay, 2 more warm-ups, and then we'll start to come into a little bit of a flow. Find a comfortable position where your spine can be long. You could be seated on a cushion. You could come into a kneeling position, and then inhale the arms up, and exhale, hands through heart center. Begin with just a few half sun salutations. Inhale up. Exhale through heart center. Inhale up. And exhale through heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, one hand comes to the earth. You can use a block. Breathing into the side body. And then switch sides. So in Kripalu style yoga, we always warm up the spine with 6 movements of the spine. Forward folds and back bends. This would be lateral flexion for the side of the body. And then twisting. One more time, each side. If you want more sensation, you can walk the fingertips away from you even more on the side. And then switch sides. Beautiful. And for a twist, gently twist. Right hand comes to the outside of the front leg. Inhale through center and twist the other side. Inhale through center. Beautiful. And last thing before we come into our flow, bring the left hand up, fingertips come right by the temple, and let the ears start to move down toward the shoulder. Deep inhale into the side of the neck and exhale, release any tension that might be in there. And then cradle the cheek in the hand, come on up and switch sides. And then gently come on up. Take your gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale through center. And then right side. And last time. Okay. So the particular flow that I put together for you today was inspired by Yoga Glow. It's YOGAGLO. And I can always share the class with you, I believe, so that you can try it for free. And I believe they offer a 2-week free membership. So what's nice about it is you can pick little mini workouts, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, and you can pick it with any instructor you want. You can pick a focus for the body. It can be Pilates, it could be exercise, but you still have to come to the JCC, okay? Just try your 2 weeks free just to see what you think. All right, so it is a vigorous class, but this group here today that is practicing with me, we don't usually do this type of advanced asana, so I'm going to show you 2 different ways to practice this. So that way, if you want to add the heat, you can, but if you want to keep it a little bit more on the gentle side, you can. So I'll walk you through what it would look like with both options. So if you want to do less heat, you'll start in table. And instead of going into downward facing dog, you'll come into puppy pose. Puppy pose is very similar to downward dog, but you're staying down on the earth. Now, for those people who don't want to do either one of these, you can do something different. You can use a chair to practice your down dog. You can also use the wall. Here's what puppy pose looks like. Walk the knees away and then walk the hands forward and draw all your abdominal muscles in. If you don't want to do puppy pose, you'll be going up into downward facing dog. But let me show you the gentler version. So from puppy pose, we would come on back up, walk the hands toward us. So now we're in modified plank. Pull the elbows in and drop down. So you're gonna drop down, belly and chin, and then come into cobra pose. So again, active legs, pull the elbows in, engage the abdominals, and come on up into cobra. So cobra is a back bend or a heart opener. And then lower down and press back up into your puppy pose. So that would be considered a little vinyasa flow. Now I'll show you what the more heated version looks like. We're going to start in tabletop position and then curl the toes and send the hips back, coming into downward facing dog. Now with downward facing dog, our knees are bent as deeply as you can get them, and the head comes between the elbows. The hands are spread as far apart as you can get them, so you're pressing into the fleshy part of the hand. You can make any movements that would help your body release. You can pedal your knees, swivel your hips. Be mindful not to collapse into the wrists or the shoulders. You can also offer support by placing something rolled up underneath your heels. So if you have something extra at home, like an extra yoga mat, you can roll that up, a towel. If you're not sure how far apart your hands and your feet should be, you can start off in plank pose and then press up. And that will be the ideal distance for you. If you feel any discomfort in your lower back, try walking your feet further apart. So the goal is to keep the spine long. Now, the more vigorous version would be to come on down into plank, and then we'll do the same thing. To keep our shoulders and elbows safe, we'll pull the elbows in, drop down, chest and chin, and then we'll press up into upward facing dog. Okay, a little bit more vigorous, and then back into downward facing dog. Now, either way, whether you're in downward facing dog or tabletop, you're going to want to get your right leg forward. So if you're in tabletop, just step it through and you'll come into low lunge. If you're in downward facing dog, you'll extend the leg coming into three-legged dog and then step the leg through. And again, we'll come into low lunge. Drop your back knee down and bring the arms up. If that feels uncomfortable bringing them up that way, you can bring them up this way and open the heart center. Take the gaze up and think of the words Aham Prema. Bring your awareness to your heart center. I am divine love. Now, if it would feel good, bring your hands behind you. I'll turn to the side so you can see. Interlace the fingers and draw the knuckles down. So this is Yoga Mudra. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Just keep your arms up. And if this is too much heat, you can bring your hands here or here. Now you can also do this with a chair. So you could stand with the back of the chair facing you, and you would come into lunge like this on the tips of the toes using the support of your chair. So same exact thing, you're in high lunge instead of low lunge, and you're using the chair to give you a little bit of support. I'm gonna go turn my heat down because it's starting to feel like hot yoga. I think I put it up to 75. We're gonna switch sides. So we'll take that same flow on the other side, either tabletop position, down dog, lower down, cobra, and then back to down dog. Be right back. Okay, there we go. Okay, so have you done the other side? Okay, in case you haven't, I'll do it with you. Down dog, or you could be in a puppy pose, then three-legged dog, and then step the leg through, coming into low lunge, arms come up, Aham Prema. Arms come down, back into downward facing dog. Or puppy pose. Drop the knees, pull the elbows in, drop the belly, chest, chin, and cobra, or upward facing dog. You decide. And then downward facing dog. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee, step it through. Here we go. Arms come up. Lift the heart center. You can stay right here because it's enough. Or you can bring your hands down here or here. Or bring your hands together into Yoga Mudra. Aham Prema. I am pure love. And let's do the other side. Hands come down. Press back into downward facing dog, or you could be in your puppy pose. Breathe deeply. And then three-legged dog. Step the foot through, drop the back knee. And then arms come up. Now, try to lift the ribs up, open the chest, drop the shoulders, get long, and bring your awareness to your heart center. Bring the hands behind you, if that's available to you, and then Yoga Mudra. Drop the knuckles down toward the tailbone. Beautiful. And then come on back, bring the leg through, and we'll take that last little flow. Modified plank, draw the elbows in, drop the belly down, chest and chin, and then cobra or upward facing dog. Now this time we'll go into child's pose. Press up. Now child's pose doesn't have to be from your knees. You could just come onto your back and hug your knees to your chest. Or if you're sitting in a chair, you could do the same thing. I like to bring the knees to the outer edge of the mat, gives a little bit more room so the belly can come through. And then the forehead comes to the earth or to a block. Even if your tailbone doesn't reach the earth, imagine energetically drawing it down toward the earth. Child's pose is that place of rest, coming back to the breath. And then from child's pose, we'll make our way onto our belly. So now if we were together in person, we would probably do that flow for about 15 minutes, and we would keep building on that flow, coming into a side warrior, with different versions of humble warrior and the angle reaching overhead, probably some revolved, and then probably come into some pretty advanced balancing postures like Ardha Chandrasana, the standing half moon. But we're not together and I can't see everybody. And this particular group today of my regulars, we usually practice more gentle. So I'm obviously going to modify, my plan to fit the needs of everybody. So rather than doing some of the stretches for the quads the way I was going to today, I'm going to do it the way we've always done it. And that's getting nice and long with the support of the floor. And then if it's available to you, left hand finds left foot. Now, if that's difficult to do, if your arm is not long enough to reach the foot, you can always use a strap or a belt. Now, I know, Esther, we've done this together. I've seen you do this in class. It is a little bit harder to do when you're home by yourself, but it can be done, especially if you have your props set up ahead of time. So you can have a strap. So if you need a strap, let Susan know, because a strap, it's not cheating. It just allows you to reach parts of your body that you might not be able to reach because the arms usually just aren't long enough. And you can still get a really good stretch here in the front of the leg with the support of the floor. The knee's going to want to splay out, don't let it. Now, if that's too intense, you can practice this every single day at home using a chair. You would simply have a chair. Let's pretend this is my chair. And from a standing position, you would rest your leg on your chair like this. So pretend I'm standing. So you're still going to get a nice stretch here, even though you're not, it doesn't appear you're at your maximum range of motion. But that particular stretch is all you need to keep your body in alignment. Okay, let's switch sides. So if this is too intense for you, use your chair. This time the right hand takes hold of the right foot, or you can use a strap. The knee's going to want to splay out, don't let it. And then release. Okay, so because most of the heart openers that I had planned for today were coming into from extremely vigorous postures, I'm going to modify, and we'll end with a heart opener on bridge pose. Now, if bridge pose doesn't feel good to you, you can just stay on your belly and practice Sphinx pose, or sit in a chair and practice your heart openers like we did before. With bridge pose, you can take a more restorative version or an active version. The lower back is connected with the earth and the chin stays tucked. So you're not going to want to look at the screen or look from side to side. The feet are about hip distance apart. Now, the more restorative version would allow you to press up and then press a block underneath your sacrum, keeping a slight tug of the chin. This would be a restorative heart opener, sending your breath and your awareness to your heart center, Aham Prema. If you want a more active version, you will press up, squeeze the legs together. If you'd like, you can walk the shoulders together and interlace the fingers. Bring your awareness to your heart center, Aham Prema. If holding the postures is not your thing, you can flow in and out of postures. Inhale your arms up, and then exhale, unravel the spine, arms float down. Inhale up, and exhale, unravel. So lots of options. You can hold in stillness, you can use support, or you can flow in and out of the posture. And then when your bridge pose feels complete, make your way into a comfortable position. You can lie on your back with the support of the earth, or you can come into a seated posture. If you would like to practice the yoga mudra, the Padma mudra, you can do so. And if listening to this guided meditation is not your thing and you want to just keep, exercising and doing your own thing, I can't see you. So, this is your practice. Do what your body is looking for today. If you'd like to take a few minutes to connect with your heart, then either bring your hands into Padma mudra or place one hand over the heart and then the other. As you hold the mudra, take several natural breaths to attune to all the feelings and sensations awakened by this gesture. Again, the lotus mudra or this. Notice how your breath is gently directed into your chest. This is where your physical heart is, as well as your energetic chakra. With each inhaling breath, the frontiers of your heart open gradually. And with each exhalation, you create a space in which to embrace all of your fourth chakra's essential qualities. Some people call them chakras, some people say chakra. The qualities of this area: unconditional love, your true pure self. Visualize your heart center as a fertile field for blossoming of all of the qualities of the heart center. Visualize a green meadow filled with wildflowers of all colors, shapes, and varieties. Take some time to see yourself strolling through this meadow, allowing each flower that you meet to unfold one of your heart's essential qualities. The first flower you meet awakens the quality of lightness of being, your ability to move through life gracefully, savoring the sweetness of life without taking anything too personally. Take several breaths to envision yourself integrating lightness into all of your activities, allowing you to live with greater ease at each moment along your life's journey. As you continue through your garden with greater ease, you are drawn to the flower of gratitude, allowing you to see that everyone and everything you meet plays an essential role in revealing your life's deeper meaning. Take several breaths to sense the color, texture, and fragrance of gratitude filling your being with deep appreciation for every moment of living. As gratitude fills your being, the flower of communion draws you to it naturally, allowing your heart to beat in synchrony with the heart of all beings. Take several breaths to absorb the color and fragrance of communion, envisioning all of those with whom you share your journey, living in greater harmony. As you continue through your garden with a greater sense of communion and harmony, you naturally perceive the flower of compassion unfolding naturally. As compassion unfolds, take some time to offer a heartfelt prayer for the happiness of all beings, recognizing that just like yourself, each one seeks love within the limits of their understanding. Now embrace the flowers of your heart as a single bouquet, allowing unconditional love to blossom naturally as the essential fragrance of your true being. Affirm your heart's qualities, repeating the following 3 times, or silently, or just allow my words to wash over you. Awakening my heart's essential qualities, unconditional love blossoms naturally. Awakening my heart's essential qualities, unconditional love blossoms naturally. Awakening my heart's essential qualities, unconditional love blossoms naturally. Slowly release the yoga mudra and take several breaths to sense the awakening of all your heart chakra's essential qualities. When you are ready, open your eyes, return slowly and gently, bringing the colors and fragrances of your inner garden into all of your activities today. If you need a little bit more time for relaxation, you can stay right where you are. If you're ready to begin your day, then you can make your way into a seated position, finding a tall spine, and then bring the hands to heart center with a slight bow to yourself, honoring yourself for your dedication to your wellness, to your health, and to your yoga journey. Thank you for taking the time to show up again and again so that we could all be together. Even though I can't see you or hear you, I can still feel your unconditional love and your energy, that energetic, true and perfect and whole self. Thank you for the privilege of letting me draw forth that which is already within you. You are all perfect and whole and have everything that you need right within you. And if you'd like, you can bring the hands to the forehead and we honor each other with a slight bow. Namaste. A happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'll open up the chat in case you have any questions. And if anybody wants a copy of that guided meditation, you can always record it and play it for yourself if it's something that would help you. I think I'm going to need to do this every day for the rest of my life because it's a really hard thing to cultivate, that unconditional love. Okay. So did we stop the recording?